searching and building this website, ninefigureproperties.com, came across some really unique ones, and I wanted to make a video about this particular topic of courts. In Los Angeles, it's very common to have swimming pools. Tennis courts in Beverly Hills and a lot of areas are also pretty common. Basketball courts, up against a garage or half courts are very common. What's very unusual is to have both a basketball and a tennis court. So I decided to make a video. I'll explain a little while later. This is an example of a tennis court with a basket hoop set up on one end. I don't know if it has one on the other. It'd be pretty funny to watch players going back and forth having to jump over the net. But this is a little bit of a twofer. Now, obviously, basketball and tennis courts tend to have different surfaces, so it's not an ideal situation. But again, it's a twofer, so I kind of like the setup, but let's take a little advanced look at people that can afford to do a lot more than that. So this is a property that's in the news recently. It sold for $52 million. It had previously sold for $51 million. And this one actually has a tennis court, pool, and there's a basketball court that we can see from this view over here. This is the full property. And the tennis court, the basketball court, is just a half court. So that doesn't qualify for what we're talking about, but it's a good lead-in. So now this is the one that really kind of caught my attention. And it's a big property in Calabasas. And I just thought it was really cool when I saw this on the satellite image that he put both a tennis court and a basketball side by side. So that's one approach, but it's not the only one. So one of the most expensive properties in Bel Air is a property called Casa Encantada. It hasn't sold for a while, but it does have a unique background of having twice been sold for the U.S. record at the time that it was sold. So this property sold in 1980 for $12.4 million. At that time, that was the highest price ever paid for a home in the United States. And then again, in 2000, it sold for $94 million. So it's been on and off the market. It may sell for more than that. It could, in theory, be worth more than any other property in California. This is a wider view. This is the tennis court all the way down here. It's an 8-acre property, so it's quite a jog to go from one side to the other, which is complete opposite of the approach here, which was side by side. So in this case, we have them all the way at the ends of the property. And from the satellite view, we can kind of see a little bit better image of the basketball court there. And it does appear to be a full-size court there. So those are the two different approaches to having both of those courts on the same property. However, I did find one other, and I'm sure there's a lot around the country. This is possibly the most valuable property in New York for Fairfield Pond. And this one appears to have a basketball court and 2 tennis courts. So it trumps them all, but it's in New York, so I don't know how many days of the year you can actually play outdoor tennis and basketball. But nevertheless, these are some of the most valuable properties in New York and LA, and they have this characteristics of these features of both a tennis and a basketball court. What the future may bring, I also thought was really interesting when I came across this property, is this is a property that sold a couple years ago for $20 million. This is a mock-up. This is not what it looked like when it was sold. This is the building plans. What's interesting here is this appears to be a basketball court with a tennis court built on top of it. So someday that might be another configuration. So anyways, I thought this was really interesting. If you find it interesting or you find one more preferable to the others, leave a note in the comments. The other interesting thing about this property is it's sitting on the edge of another property that's currently on the market at auction. They're trying to sell, called Senderos Canyon. And that property is actually the one that we just looked at with the plans, I believe, is right here on this hilltop. This 30-acre property in Senderos is this entire valley here, which is up for sale. So that's a whole different video that hopefully I'll have time to make. Let me know in the comments below, and that's it for today.